So in today's video, I just want to talk a bit about this new thing. It's called the FIMI Palm, and I want to give you my initial thoughts about it and what I really think about it. So at first glance, it literally looks like an exact replica of the DJI OSMO Pocket, but really it has tons of other features. And yeah, let's get into it. So at first, let's talk about what's in the box. So in the box, what's included is the FIMI Palm itself and the lens cap, this thing right here, and this third thing is the hand strap to hold it, and the last thing is the user manual. So those are the stuff that's included in the box. So now I'm just gonna talk about the key features of the FIMI Palm. So the first thing that just comes up to the FIMI Palm is there is 4K 24, 25, 30, and 1080, 24, 25, 30, 48, and 60. So those are those key features, and I'm just going to talk about some others. So the sensor size is a 1/2.6 CMOS sensor, and yeah, that's the one that is in the FIMI Palm. The FIMI Palm has a wide angle lens that is 128 degrees, so that means it's a super wide ass angle lens, so that's a really good thing about this FIMI Palm. So the FIMI Palm has different video options, I guess. Time-lapse is one that's something I really like about the FIMI Palm. The second is just video, of course, photo, of course, and slow motion. And lastly, a cool feature about this is panorama, and that just gives you a really wide perspective of a photo. So I'm going to show you the gimbal modes you could do, and the first one is follow, which just gives you smooth footage and makes it look buttery, and it's super smooth and it follows all the stuff you do. The second one is FPV mode, which is my favorite mode because you get those dynamic shots that you can't get when you have a handheld camera or like a GoPro, and it unlocks all axes and it just makes it look so much better because a gimbal, it's like a POV mode, so it looks really cool. The third one is gimbal lock. Gimbal lock is when the gimbal is locked and you can't move any axes, so that's really good for hyperlapses. Gimbal lock is also pretty smooth, but it gets a little bumpy when you walk big steps because it's locked on, so it will go up and down, so that's a thing you should look out for that. The fourth thing is pitch lock. So it's like this, when the gimbal is like still and you see this camera, I'm just gonna show it to you guys. So it's like this, and you can only just move this part of it, so the camera will just look at the horizon that you placed it in. So I'm just gonna talk about the advantages I found when using the FIMI Palm over the Osmo Pocket. So first thing I found was that the joystick is a 5-way joystick, meaning that it could control almost 360 degrees, and the Osmo Pocket unfortunately does not have that, so that's a really good feature I like about this. And second thing I found about this for advantages is when you grab it out of the box, you could just use it out of the box. You don't have to like connect it to your phone or anything because everything is built into the FIMI Palm. That's something I really like about it. So the third thing I really like about this and an advantage to the DJI OSMO Pocket is motion tracking. It just motion tracks wherever you go, so that is an amazing thing that the FIMI Palm is packed with. So now I'm just going to talk about the camera angles you could go for, and the first one is called ultra wide. Ultra wide is like a wide angle lens, and that's my personally favorite one in the FIMI Palm because it just looks really good and everything is sharp. The second one is narrow. Narrow is a tighter view, which is compared to the DJI OSMO Pocket, which is narrow and the view looks similar, but I like ultra wide more, so yeah. The third thing is super scope. Super scope is just a really wide perspective. It like takes down the aspect ratio more down. So something really interesting about this is there is Wi-Fi capabilities and Bluetooth. So you could just connect it to your phone via iOS or Android, and just have to download the FIMI Play app and just controls everything. So the FIMI Palm has a photo option too, if you didn't know, and there's one for a fine mode and a super fine. So I'm just gonna show you some photos I took, and yeah, I'm gonna just show you some photos right here. So it looks pretty cool, right? And I personally think it's pretty sharp for what it's capable of. So the FIMI Palm has a 1000 milliamps battery, so I think that is more than a DJI OSMO Pocket, so it will give you a little bit more juice for you shooting outside and traveling around and you don't have a cable or a portable charger, so that's a really good thing about it. So for the FIMI Palm, there is also a ISO you could use for manual or auto, and a white balance feature. So normally I would use auto for white balance and the ISO manually. So the ISO range goes from 100 to 3200, and the FIMI Palm white balance goes from 2000 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin. So yeah, I normally use the auto white balance because it's really good on the FIMI Palm. So that's what I suggest to you guys. Why would you want to use the FIMI Palm? The first reason why you would want to use it is for smoother shots, of course, and in that department it really did a good job in it because it really got that good buttery motion. And yeah, second is you could get those dynamic shots, like when you use FPV, you could go in those small corners and hose and just take it out and it looks really cool. Here's an example. So that looks pretty cool, right? So yeah, that's why I really like the FIMI Palm. The third option is basically has everything a camera has, and it's even for a cheaper price. In addition to that, it has a gimbal built in, so you don't have to buy another gimbal, which is like $1,000. So that's a really cool thing I like about the FIMI Palm. So the build and the design. So there is a micro SD card slot you could put right here, and it goes up to 256 gigabytes. And there's also a square touch screen right here, 4x4. And there is a 5-way joystick. Again, like I said, there is also a record button right to your right hand in my side, and there is a accessory thing right here, so you could just put in like a tripod right here, or if you buy it from Per Gear, it comes with this thing, so you just screw it in, and it's just a cool accessory to have. So something else cool about this is there is color profiles, and color profiles are like a dynamic range style stuff. I don't know how to say it, but it gives you more dynamic range. So there is a natural one, which is, to me personally, too saturated and too contrasty, and F-Log, which is perfect in mine. It's like Cinestyle maybe, but it's not like C-Log or anything. So now let's talk about the FIMI Play app. So the FIMI Play app has tons of stuff. You could control all your settings, and it gives you just more dynamic in using all your settings wisely. So you could choose your video specs, and you could control with the joystick on your phone. So I just want to talk about the cons now. The mic is a really crappy thing I don't like about it. Is super mushy, like when you talk, it's super mushy and it's not that good. I'm just gonna show you an example right here. So this is the mic from the FIMI Palm. Let me know. So as you could see, it's not that clean. And yeah, let's get back to the video. Yeah, I just think they should maybe fix the mic problem maybe. And the second thing is motion tracking sometimes gets lost sometimes, so that's something to look out for. Like when you motion track it, it might not go to you because maybe you have to recenter something. The third thing is when you connect it to the FIMI Play, it would sometimes not connect because, I don't know, maybe your phone or it's the FIMI Palm itself. So maybe you have to reset it or you have to format your car. Overall, I think it's way better than the DJI OSMO Pocket. Like, I'm honest, it's way better because the lens is so dang sharp and it just looks way better. So lastly, it has a wide angle lens. So at first I really didn't think that this would be that good, and like make me really personally like it. I saw a lot of review videos and it just didn't look good, but when I tried it out, it really looked good, and I can say this is way better than the DJI OSMO Pocket. So I really would recommend it to all those beginners out there. So that's a really good thing. That's it for the video. I'm gonna wrap it up right now, and I hope you enjoy this video and learn something new. And if you want to buy this, you could use the link in the description. It's around $200, and yeah, it comes with tons of features, and I would definitely recommend it to you guys. So if you did enjoy this video and you want to help me out, you can do it by liking this video or subscribing or commenting or even sharing it with your friends. But other than that, I will see you in the next episode video. So peace.